Hello everybody, John Craig here with Performance Plus Tennis. We're going to take a look at the tremendous forehand of Jack Draper, who just won the BNP Paribas Open. And his forehand is a big part of it. Serve is amazing, but his forehand's amazing too. And it is the total epitome of the modern forehand. And we're going to break it down for you here and show you what he does in his forehand that you can apply to your stroke to help improve your performance. So he's got a beautiful ready position, light and lively on his feet, doing his split step. Ball comes to the forehand, and watch his right hand take initiative here and prepare the racket. So when his right hand is preparing the racket, it naturally gets the shoulders to rotate. And look how far the right hand goes before it actually separates from the racket. It's literally well beyond, probably 30 degrees beyond the baseline, which would probably be in this angle. He's letting that right arm go way back. So he's looking over his right shoulder. Look how he's looking over the right shoulder. He's got tremendous coil. In fact, his shoulders are rotated beyond his hips. You can see his hips are here and his shoulders are here. And that sets up a really nice stretch factor that he's going to be able to optimize to create rotation into the ball. Next up, when his hand releases, look where the racket goes. This is fascinating. This is the key element of the modern forehand, that the strings are literally facing backwards. The side of the strings are going to hit the ball are facing back. And what is the benefit of that? Well, it creates a movement into the lag position and a relaxation that creates a tremendous lag in the racket head. So the racket is trailing the hand at this stage, and that allows the racket head to really accelerate. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But look at that position. He's got a tremendous coil and a tremendous position here. And at this stage, you can see his weight is primarily on the back leg. You can see that. Back leg. And now watch how the right arm is going to pull away from this angle, and it's going to come around to here and keep going, and then it comes around and it tucks. So his weight is going to shift from back to forward as the right arm pulls around. Look at that. It's a unit of movement. It's a unified, connected movement that creates that tremendous power and that weight transfer into the ball. So it's a really beautiful movement. And of course, he gets to the contact point out in front in a comfortable range. Look at that right there. Coming into contact. It happens so fast we can't really pick it up. It's a blur, but the contact is just about there. And then watch the extension. Watch how he follows it out. Look at that extension there. So he's got nice power coming through the shoulder here and nice extension going out through the racket. Another key feature of his forehand is that there's really no stage in the forehand where the racket face is ever open. And you can see that if he comes back to the beginning. It's a little bit open right here, but then watch it close, and then it stays closed. And it comes onto the ball, and it closes over again. So when we look at this stage, the racket is clearly closed. And that's really a key piece. So if you're having trouble producing topspin, or you're cupping the ball and sending it long, just think about never letting your racket face open at any stage during your forehand stroke. And that'll help you naturally produce more topspin and keep your ball in. Okay? So beautiful forehand here. Unbelievable power. And look how he rotates around and keeps going. And look at that beautiful finish as he comes around. That is just an amazing movement in forehand. Let's take a look at it one more time. Slow motion. Here it comes. In contact, driving the ball out, extending out through the ball, and beautiful finish. Now let's take a look at it from the back. And this is really revealing. Right hand still in the racket. He comes back, and look at the racket strings are facing right back at us here at the camera. We can see that. The weight is clearly on the back foot. We can see that. And he's going to make a good, strong push. This is a semi-open stance. Almost open, but pretty close to semi-open, I would say. At this stage, it's a semi-open. And he's going to shift his weight from his left foot to his right foot as he makes contact. Look at that. And rotate back to the right foot. Look at that. Beautiful rotation. Now the lag there, and some of you who have watched my videos and know how I feel about lagging and snapping, which was a very popular comment years ago. I don't want you to ever think that you're going to snap the racket head or flick the wrist from this position. If you're relaxed, the racket will naturally catch up to the ball. And there's a little bit of change in the wrist here, but it's nothing he's trying to flick or snap. So let it happen naturally. If you're relaxed and you rhythm this movement right, the racket will naturally catch up to the hand. And now watch the racket cover over the ball, and around it goes. And even at the end, look how the racket's closed down. Look how the racket's closed down. Now, also notice that he's so relaxed that his wrist is actually bent there. And that doesn't matter now because the ball is literally gone. It's literally gone. But from the position of the lag right here to the contact, it's a holding position. He's holding it. He's not gripping tight, but he's certainly not trying to flick the wrist at it. The racket is naturally going to catch up, and pass out through the ball. And that is a beautiful forehand. So what are the big takeaways from Jack's forehand here? Well, first of all, look at his beautiful ready position. When the ball comes, look how early he makes his turn and gets ready to receive the ball. So when the ball enters the bounce, he's already coiled and ready to make his move. Perfect positioning. And then when the ball bounces, he's ready to make his move in one full fluid motion. And then he stretches that right hand, pulls it away, shifts the weight, rotates. And this is really a key factor too. And there are coaches that say the shoulders follow the swing, but literally the swing follows the shoulders. Watch his shoulders rotate. I'm going to put a mark right here on his right shoulder, excuse me, his left shoulder being left-handed, and he's going to rotate around and watch where his shoulder is at contact. Even before contact, look how the shoulder is actually leading and the racket's catching up to the shoulder, and now he's literally facing where? He's literally facing forward. His chest is forward, his belly button's forward. So he's using that initial rotation, that coil right here, to create an uncoiling position where he can use tremendous power through his body to let that racket head whip through and coil around beautifully. And there's the power. So key things to really create here for your forehand: start in a beautiful ready position. Use your non-dominant hand to create your unit turn. Don't worry, I'm not really a big fan of this for recreational players. I think this is very tricky. Unless you're a high-performance player or you're playing all the time, having the racket in this position is a bit tricky because you have to be very skilled at getting here in this position. And those of you who have watched my video where I tried to replicate Jannik Sinner's forehand, you saw me try it. It is very difficult because I have more of a classic forehand where at this stage in the swing, my strings are literally facing the camera. So this is a difficult thing to do for a lot of players at direct level. I wouldn't do that. I would focus more on what we're seeing here with the body. You know, his body, what his body is doing is far more important, I believe, for most rec players than what the racket's doing. I wouldn't worry about that. I would try to keep that movement a little bit cleaner, try to make your swing very pure and very simple and very clean, and let your body do the work. This is a little tricky to go from here to there where that racket's literally rotating around and it has to get square up on the ball. Pretty difficult to do for most recreational players. So I'm not a big fan of that. I wouldn't be trying to do that. But I would definitely be trying to use the right hand to prepare, stretch, push off the back leg, rotate, and keep your balance all the way through. And you can even catch the racket in the end like Jack's doing. So I hope this video has been helpful for you to improve the performance of your forehand. Please leave your comments down below. Give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. And stick around. We've got a lot more coming here at Performance Plus Tennis. And finally, if you would like to work and dive deeper into your forehand, just click on the link in the description down below and get my free lesson on the 5 key principles you need to master to achieve your full potential on your forehand. Thanks again for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next lesson.